Today is the first day since it's been a week since I started. No, today's the 8th day, which means it's been a full 7 days. Hang on. What I'm basically trying to say is I've had 7 full days of trying to sort myself out and trying to establish new habits. So on day 8, I thought I would do a bit of reflecting. You know, does that make sense? Anyway, it's only been a week and today I got up early via my alarm. I got into the shop, which was tidy. I had a nice clean of my desk and made it even cleaner than it already was. I feel like someone needs to call the fire brigade because I am on fire at the moment in terms of organisation, planning. Incredibly, I've also started buying Christmas presents for friends and family, and I'm not joking when I say, like, the last few years I've done my Christmas shopping on Christmas Eve, and I'm not just saying that for clout. I genuinely mean that. Sometimes I wonder whether I've got a split personality because with my business I run everything so sharply to the nose, massive attention to detail. And then in my personal life, I'm just a bit all over the place. Anyway, the day started well. Did my makeup. I wish it was this quick to do my makeup, but unfortunately it's not. That present I was wrapping earlier, by the way, was actually a birthday present for my best friend's daughter. She's only 5, and I thought it would be hilarious to wrap it in Christmas paper. And then whilst I was using Christmas paper, I thought, I know, today is the day I'm finally going to do what I've been talking about for 5 days. So I cracked on and I did my master plan. Here we go. Going to be honest, this was way more difficult to attach to the wall than it should have been. I don't know if it was like the poorest paint. I don't know if the sellotape was rubbish. Either way, it took way more effort than it should have. But the idea of this master plan is basically to start mapping out daily habits that I need to do every day that I have realised over this project are things that are essential for me to live my day to its fullest. Also things to avoid. So for example, if I was writing down things to avoid, I would say, Rachel, don't put sweatpants on to work in because it will make you feel like absolute crap. Also on this master plan, I'm going to make a list of long-term and short-term goals. But before I did any of that, I chose the wrong pen and absolutely destroyed the headline, and I was gutted, to be honest, absolutely gutted. I used a pen that didn't really work, then I used a pen that did work. The T and the rest of the letters didn't match up. Wounded. Anyway, here I am giving my master plan a title, which after much thought I decided to go with my gut, and I've called it the master plan. Yeah, happy with that. It's looking good so far. So first of all, on this day, the 8th day of my project, let's write down all the habits which I've realised are essential for me for having the best day I can possibly have. This is me essentially reflecting on the last 7 days and compiling a list of all the things that work best. At this point, the master plan was really starting to take shape, but to be honest, I just couldn't shake off how gutted I was about that T, that flipping T. I go back and try and correct it and make it worse. Then I decided to make a list of all of the weddings I've got to edit and deliver, and my good God, this is a great way of feeding into my anxiety. But at least it's written down and it's there for me to reflect on. It's on the master plan, so it can do no harm. I've decided the master plan is the Bible. So I started today with my daily list, also on the master plan. Then I took an hour out today to go and have a breakfast date with that aforementioned friend and her 5-year-old daughter, because I literally haven't seen them in months. The city I live in is absolutely mental in an incredible way, and it's got a castle on my doorstep. So we went to the castle, we saw the dragons, we had a lovely time. The city's also doing a thing at the moment which they refer to as a monster trail, where they have loads of monsters hidden in random parts of the city. I got the obligatory photo on the Canon, but struggled to get my leg back over. Went back to work, and this was the first flipping thing that caught my eye. Obviously, I sat at my desk for hours on end doing editing. Was trying to decide whether this track was really grisly and gnarly and a bit too hectic for the day. But then as I was recording this, I was like, do you know what? I'm actually into it. Halfway through my editing, I decided to make this TikTok, basically to communicate the fact that it does my head in how long my editing takes, but I still refuse to cut corners. And then I did hours and hours more editing before finishing for the day. Went upstairs and started getting ready for a run. By the way, one of the things I struggle with most about these videos and this project is being really, really, really honest. But to be really honest, I absolutely hate how out of shape I am at the moment. I have put so much weight on while setting up my business, and I'm talking gradually over the last 4 or 5 years. I used to be so much fitter and healthier than I am now. However, what's done is done, and there's still time to change it. Can we just take a moment to appreciate nighttime running in this city? Flipping heck, the views. Got back home, and as I was getting dressed, realised this was a mirror I cleaned literally the other day in this video. Deary me. I actually warmed down today, which is unusual for me because I never warm down and stretch out. but I really hurt my knee last week, and I think it's because I'm not stretching properly. So here I am trying not to make weird noises, but failing miserably while stretching. And this was dinner. We had the leftovers from 2 nights ago when I made that Mediterranean tomato thing with the potatoes in it. Dan added some orzo and it was absolutely delicious. This is often how we tire Einstein out in the evenings, by the way. We'll just sit away from each other and constantly take it in turns to call him over to us. And he loves it. And it keeps him busy for 20, 30 minutes.
Such a good
The night
boy.
ended on a monumental note because our friends have just got a new dog called, wait for it, Dave. Dave is adorable. He's only 4 months old and I'm going to be looking after him a lot for them. And so Einstein had to meet Dave and had to get on with Dave. And they got on like a flipping house on fire, which was so sweet to see. Dave is obviously tiny compared to Einstein, although he's mainly fluff. He's a rescue, so he's due to have a haircut tomorrow because he's a little bit all over the place and scruffy, bless him. But I tell you what, he's going to walk out of that salon a new man. He really will. I might call him Dave Bond. Anyway, look at these two being absolute sweethearts together. It was such a wholesome note to end a brilliant day on. And so I'm going to give day 8 a 10 out of 10 because I've had a flipping lovely one. And Einstein has too, he told me earlier.